Stop for just a moment, because what you are about to hear may touch a painful truth many parents face after 60. It is the quiet realization that the children you raised, protected, sacrificed for, worried over, prayed for, and loved through every season may not always treat you with the respect your years deserve. This is difficult to say, because no parent wants to believe their child has become careless with their heart. You remember them small, their fears, their victories, and the nights you stayed awake so they could sleep. Your memory keeps showing you the child, even when the present shows an adult speaking with impatience, entitlement, or coldness. And because they are your children, you explain it away. You say they are busy. They are stressed. They have responsibilities. They do not mean it. Times have changed. Maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe I should be grateful they call at all. But the soul knows when love has lost respect. It feels the difference between a tired child and a dismissive one, between someone who forgets because life is heavy and someone who treats your presence as useful only when needed. After 60, you must see this difference clearly, not to punish them, but to stop betraying yourself in the name of family. The first sign is that they only contact you when they need something. They may call for money, childcare, favors, advice, emotional comfort, or a place to leave their problems. But when your life is quiet, when you are lonely, when you are unwell, when you simply want conversation, their phone becomes silent. They may say they love you, but their pattern says you are useful more than you are valued. And patterns speak louder than affectionate words spoken in a hurry. This kind of disrespect is painful because it hides behind necessity. A parent naturally wants to help. Your heart remembers feeding them, worrying over them, and solving problems before they understood problems existed. So when they come to you with need, something old inside you rises automatically. You want to fix, provide, rescue, protect. But there comes a time when love must stop being automatic and become conscious. If every call begins with urgency and ends when the favor is complete, you are not truly included. You are being accessed as a resource. Respectful children do not only remember parents in crisis. They call to hear you. They ask how your day was. They remember appointments, aches, anniversaries, and quiet worries. They listen even when there is nothing to gain. They understand that love is not only emergency contact. If your children only appear when your time, money, home, or energy can serve them, it does not mean you should hate them. But it does mean you must stop confusing being needed with being respected. Need uses you. Respect sees you. The second sign is that they speak with impatience, mockery, or a tone they would never use with a stranger. This can hurt more than people realize. A child may roll their eyes, interrupt you, laugh at your memory, dismiss your questions, or speak as if explaining life to someone foolish. They may say, "You do not understand, you are from another time," or "you are being dramatic." Sometimes they do not even raise their voice. The disrespect comes through sighs, short answers, sarcasm, and the feeling that your presence is an inconvenience. No parent is perfect, and no adult child is required to agree with everything a parent says. But disagreement does not require contempt. A respectful child can correct you without humiliating you. They can explain technology without making you feel stupid. They can disagree with your opinion without attacking your age. They can be busy without making you feel like a burden. Tone matters because it reveals your place in someone's heart. When a person respects you, even their frustration has limits. They do not use your vulnerability as a stage for their irritation. After 60, stop accepting cruelty because it comes from someone you raised. Blood does not give anyone permission to speak to you like you are small. You spent years teaching them manners, patience, and kindness. You should not have to beg them to return those gifts in your direction. Stoic wisdom does not ask you to control their tongue. It asks you to control your access. You can say calmly, "Do not speak to me that way." You can end the call or leave the room. You can refuse to continue a conversation where your dignity is being stepped on. Silence can become a boundary when words are ignored. The third sign is that they treat your money, home, and time as if these already belong to them. This is a dangerous form of disrespect because it often wears the mask of family closeness. They borrow without urgency to repay and ask about inheritance before your health. They pressure you to sell, buy, gift, co-sign, babysit, host, travel, or change your plans because it would make their life easier. They assume retirement means availability, your savings are family backup, your house is open, and your schedule has no sacred space because you no longer work the way they do. But your life still belongs to you. Your money is not early inheritance. Your home is not a public waiting room. Your time is not empty simply because it is quieter. Everything you have was built through labor, sacrifice, decisions, and survival. You may choose to share generously, and that can be beautiful. But sharing is not the same as surrender. A gift given freely brings warmth. A gift extracted through guilt leaves bitterness behind. Respectful children ask instead of assume. They give you time to think. They accept no without punishment. They do not make financial curiosity sound like concern. They do not treat your future security as an obstacle to their present comfort. They understand that after 60, money often means independence, medical care, housing, dignity, and peace. If your children become irritated when you protect what is yours, that irritation is revealing. It shows they were not asking from love alone. They were asking from expectation. The fourth sign is that they dismiss your boundaries as selfishness. This may appear when you say no to babysitting, no to lending money, no to late-night calls, no to family drama, no to visits without notice, no to disrespectful conversations, or no to being placed in the middle of their conflicts. Instead of respecting your limit, they accuse you of changing. They say you used to help more, family should always be there, or you are becoming difficult. They make your boundary feel like betrayal. But a boundary is not betrayal. A boundary is the place where love stops destroying the person who gives it. Parents often struggle with this because they spent so many years putting children first. But adult children are not supposed to remain permanently first in every decision. A healthy family evolves. The parent who once carried everything should not be expected to keep carrying everything until the end of life. Love must mature, and mature love makes room for the parent's health, rest, and peace. When children do not respect boundaries, they reveal that they preferred your availability over your well-being. They liked your yes more than they valued your condition. This does not mean they are evil. Sometimes they are simply used to an old version of you, the version who gave until empty and smiled through exhaustion. But you are allowed to retire from that version. You can say, I love you, but I cannot do this anymore, and let them be uncomfortable while they adjust. The fifth sign is that they make decisions about you without including you. They speak to doctors, relatives, financial people, neighbors, or other family members as if you are not capable of being part of your own life. They decide where you should live, what you should sell, what help you need, what you can handle, or what you should stop doing. Sometimes they call it protection, and sometimes it is genuine concern. But genuine concern still respects your voice. It asks, listens, explains, and does not erase you. As people age, families may need difficult conversations about health, memory, and safety. But respect does not disappear simply because life becomes complicated. A respectful child does not humiliate a parent under the name of care. They do not speak around them while they are sitting in the room. They do not turn every mistake into evidence that the parent has no judgment. They do not rush decisions because patience is inconvenient. They understand that independence is not only practical. It is emotional dignity. If your children are concerned, they can speak with compassion. They can say, I am worried about this. Can we discuss it together? They can offer support without taking command. They can help you plan without making you feel like a problem being managed. But if they repeatedly treat you as an object to organize instead of a person to honor, then respect has been replaced by control. You may need trusted advice, legal clarity, medical guidance, or a family conversation. But you should never silently accept being removed from decisions about your own life simply to avoid conflict. The sixth sign is that they use love, guilt, or silence to punish you when you do not obey. This is perhaps the hardest one, because it strikes at the deepest fear of many parents, the fear of losing connection with their children. A child may stop calling after you say no, withhold visits with the grandchildren, act cold during holidays, or tell siblings a one-sided story. They may make you feel that access to their affection depends on your compliance. This is not respect. It is emotional bargaining. A parent's love is powerful, and some adult children know this. They know exactly which words will hurt. They know you fear being alone. They know you want family peace. They know you may replay the argument at night. So they use distance as punishment. They make you chase them, apologize for boundaries, or buy peace with money, time, or surrender. But peace purchased this way never lasts. It teaches people that your dignity has a price. Real love does not punish a parent for having limits. Real love may feel disappointed, but it does not become cruel. It may need time, but it does not use silence as a weapon. It may disagree, but it does not threaten the relationship every time it does not get its way. If your child's affection only feels safe when you are obeying them, then the relationship has become unhealthy. You can still love them. You can still pray for them. You can still keep the door open to respectful contact. But you must stop chasing someone who only returns when you abandon yourself. Now, as you listen, certain faces may come to mind. And this may hurt because these are not strangers. These are the children whose names are written across your heart. You may feel shame for even admitting the truth. You may think, maybe I failed them. Maybe this is my fault. Maybe if I had parented differently, they would treat me differently now. It is important to reflect honestly. Every parent makes mistakes, and some wounds are old, complex, and real. Respect does not mean pretending the past was perfect. But your imperfections do not justify ongoing disrespect. A child may have honest grievances and still be responsible for speaking with basic dignity. A parent may have regrets and still deserve boundaries. The past may need healing, but healing cannot happen where one person is allowed to humiliate, exploit, or control the other. Accountability must travel both ways. You can apologize for what you truly did wrong without accepting punishment forever. You can listen to their pain without letting them use pain as permission to abuse your heart. This is where Stoic wisdom becomes necessary. You cannot force respect. You cannot control whether they mature, apologize, understand, or change. You cannot make them call, listen, or value your sacrifices. But you can control how much disrespect you keep rewarding with access. You can control whether your money becomes a substitute for love. You can control whether you answer every insulting call. You can control whether your home remains open to chaos. You can control whether your final years are spent begging for the respect that should have been offered freely. Do not confuse peace with passivity. Sometimes peace requires a calm sentence. I will not discuss this if you insult me. I need you to ask before making plans for my time. I am not lending money. I will not be placed between you and your sibling. I want to be part of decisions about my life. I love you, but silence will not make me change my boundary. These sentences do not need to be shouted. They become stronger when spoken quietly. A steady voice unsettles disrespect more than anger, because anger can be dismissed as emotion, but calmness feels like a wall. You may lose temporary closeness when you set boundaries. This is painful. But ask yourself, was the closeness real if it depended on you being easy to use? Was the peace real if it required you to be silent about your pain? Was the family harmony real if everyone else could have needs except you? Sometimes closeness is only the absence of conflict because one person agreed to disappear. Do not disappear. Not now. Not after what you have lived through. Respectful children are not perfect. They forget sometimes. They get busy. They may speak poorly in a stressful moment and later feel sorry. They may disagree strongly. But there is a difference between imperfection and disrespect. Imperfection can be repaired. Disrespect becomes a pattern. A respectful child returns, apologizes, adjusts, listens, and remembers that you are still a person with feelings, limits, and a life of your own. Do not demand perfection. But do not accept patterns that keep shrinking your dignity. If you want to rebuild respect, begin by respecting yourself in small visible ways. Stop answering calls when you are too tired. Stop saying yes before thinking. Stop handing out money without clarity. Stop allowing conversations to continue after insults. Stop explaining your boundary 10 different ways. Stop apologizing for needing rest. Stop treating your own home like a place where everyone else's urgency outranks your peace. The way you treat yourself teaches others how close carelessness may come. And remember, your children may resist at first because they are accustomed to the old arrangement. This does not automatically mean they do not love you. It may mean they have never had to think about your limits before. Give them a chance to adjust. Speak calmly. Be consistent. Do not punish, but do not retreat. Over time, the humble will learn, the proud will expose themselves, and your peace becomes less dependent on approval. Here at Stoic Beacon, we believe parenthood does not end when children become adults, but love must change form. You are no longer here to be endlessly used, endlessly available, endlessly guilty, or endlessly silent. You are here to love with wisdom. To help where help is healthy. To give where giving is free. To speak where truth is needed. To step back where respect is missing. To bless your children without letting them become rulers of your final chapter. You have earned the right to be spoken to with kindness. You have earned the right to be asked, not assumed. You have earned the right to protect your money, time, and home. You have earned the right to remain involved in decisions about your life. You have earned the right to say no without being punished by silence. These are not luxuries. They are basic human respect. If your children do these 6 things, do not rush into anger. Let the truth settle first. Watch the pattern. Notice what happens when you calmly set a boundary. Notice whether they reflect or retaliate. Notice whether they become curious about your feelings or only frustrated by your limits. Their response will teach you more than their words ever could. Respect is not proven when everything goes their way. Respect is proven when they do not get what they want and still remember your dignity. And if the truth hurts, let it hurt cleanly. Do not cover it with excuses forever. Pain faced honestly can become strength. Pain denied becomes bitterness. You do not have to stop loving your children. You do not have to close your heart. But you may need to close certain doors, change certain habits, reduce certain access, and stop giving sacred parts of your life to people who handle them carelessly. Love can remain when access changes. Prayer can remain when boundaries rise. Hope can remain when old patterns end. One day, they may understand. Perhaps age will teach them what your words could not. Perhaps they will become parents of adults themselves and finally see the weight you carried. Perhaps they will remember your boundaries not as cruelty, but as the moment you taught them that love and respect must walk together. Or perhaps they will not understand. That is painful, but your dignity cannot wait for their awakening. So stand gently, yet stand. Speak less, but speak clearly. Give less from guilt and more from wisdom. Answer less to disrespect and more to peace. Let your remaining years be shaped not by fear of losing your children, but by the truth that losing yourself is also a loss. Thank you for spending this time with Stoic Beacon. May your heart remain loving, your boundaries remain steady, your home peaceful, and may the people closest to you learn that age does not make you less worthy of respect, but more deserving of tenderness and honor.